research proposal, Professor Haney. What the who is that? I'm going to show you. So it's getting close in time for you to do the next step for your research paper, Essay 5, and that is the research proposal. So you're going to want to go ahead and download this onto your computer or copy and paste it and open it. Haney is lazy and she likes to copy and paste everything. So for your research proposal, what you're going to do is just show me that you have some thought process happening. So there are 3 steps that I want you to see and show me, I want to see, for what your thought process is. The first one is tentatively a thesis. Essay 5, your research paper, is going to be an evaluation essay. So it's going to be a little bit different than what you're doing now with essays 1 and 2. Essays 1 and 2 were position essays, right? So you're thinking, for example, with essay 1, either we self-segregate or society segregates us. For essay 2, you're thinking that is college the best option, right? So you're saying, yes, college is the best option, or yeah, college is important, but maybe 2 years. Or college is important, but a 4-year college is okay. You don't got to go to Harvard, that kind of thing. So essay 5 is going to be an evaluation of a solution. So what you will be doing is looking at a solution someone else has proposed to a problem and saying, do you think it'll work or do you think it won't work? And your reasons here will be why. Why will it work? Or if you think it won't work, why won't it work? So you will write your thesis as the evaluation of that solution first. That'll be your first thing on the top. And it's going to be regarding the topic of gender roles. Obviously, you're not stuck to it. This is just so I know you're thinking about something. So your content is totally okay if it changes. You might switch to a different position. You might even switch to a different topic, right? I've seen students go from women's position in the workplace to sudden onset gender dysphoria. So, you're not stuck to it. I just want to know you're thinking about it. Or you might, after doing a lot of research, change your evaluation and think, you know what, this is the best solution. It is going to work, right? So for your final draft of your research paper on week 5, you will be responding to at least 2 of the essays in the book, and you'll do outside research. So you'll have about 6 outside sources when we're all said and done. Right now you have 9 in your library assignment. 1 source and 8 outside sources. You'll go with the 2 that are in the book and you'll wheedle it down to about 6 outside sources. With your thesis, right, you're basically stating an evaluation. Do you agree that this solution will work? Is your evaluation that it will work, that it's appropriate? Or do you disagree? And if you disagree with the solution, why do you think it will not work? Or why do you think it's not appropriate? You're not specifically stating just that you agree or disagree. You're stating if it will or won't work and why will it work or not work. So I'm going to take a look at a topic that I've been using for the example, the sudden onset gender dysphoria. The example of the thesis that I am putting here is a solution many medical experts will jump onto if you bring a child forward with sudden onset gender dysphoria. What sudden onset gender dysphoria is actually really common, way more common than many adults would like to admit. And that is a child typically between 8 and 14 years old realizes they don't really relate mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually with the gender that they were born into. All religious and other opinions outside this conversation, looking just purely at medical treatment, what some physicians jump right into is let's prescribe hormones, give them hormones if they're a girl to help them be male, or hormones if they're male to be female, which is, an interesting therapy, right? And it's something that medical many medical professionals jump right into, and it's one thing for adults, but it's a different thing for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-olds. An evaluation that some parents have come up with is that the treatment won't work for teenagers under the age of 18. And here's the reasons. Because they're just developing, like you shouldn't be giving hormones to an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old. Many teenagers, very interestingly, as adults, no longer suffer from the dysphoria. They relate to the gender they were born into, and did not need hormone treatment. As an adult. And also, once a child does begin to relate to their gender, there are certain changes that are permanent after hormone treatment, and they can never go back from that. Also, children should not be making this decision as children. They can make that decision if they want to take hormones once they're an adult. And treatments like therapy and medications for things like depression, right, should be administered for those treatments. Like, they shouldn't be given hormones if they're suffering from depression. That you tentatively think you'll probably use by listing them in MLA format, alphabetically by the author's last name, with the author, title, and publication information. They should be articles about gender roles that you found during the library assignment. And I'm not going to lie to you, what most of my students do is just copy and paste them from the library assignment. And that's perfectly okay. You would be using 4 sources outside of They Say, I Say, and let me know the 2 sources within They Say, I Say that you think you're going to use. Many of my students totally do is go into modules and just go into their assignments that they submitted and go to their library assignment and open it up and copy and paste. Actually, I think what you do is you click grades and pull up your old assignments. I'm not sure how that works. Students tell me they get their old assignments, so I don't know if they do it from Canvas or if they save them and did it from their hard drives, but they just pull up their library assignment and copy and paste. So, what many of my students freely admit to doing is just going through and saying, well, I really liked this one. This one's cool. This one's cool. That one's cool. And, they just, copy and paste the ones that they liked from their library assignment. Copy. And then go into the research proposal and, paste them. So paste. And then you just want to put those in MLA format, alphabetized. They're already alphabetized, but by author's last name. Just a few quick formatting instructions. So to make it double spaced, it's this big bad boy right there, line and paragraph spacing, and we'll make it double spaced. And then we'll do our tabbing. We don't need the additional double space here, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I just did that to separate them so I knew which ones were my sources. And then, the tabbing, a few of you had trouble with tabbing. You just go to the end, you put your cursor at the end, and you hit the tab key. Right, so you see how that's done. And the book or publication that the article is housed in is also italicized. So just to show you how to do that big bad boy, it's this guy right here. And then you see they're italicized. So just those little editing things to make sure it's an MLA style, alphabetized by author's last name. If it's an article title with no author, you alphabetize by the first letter of the title. Your 4 outside sources, and let's say there was a few you kind of glanced at and you're like, I just picked that because I was desperate to fill the library assignment, or whatever. If you didn't do the library assignment, go back and look at the instructions and try to find some sources. And then, of course, show me the 2 that you think you're going to use that are from the book. Notice some of my copy and pastes don't match. So just to make sure everything's Times New Roman 12, I'm going to select everything, which on my laptop is Control A. And then it selects everything. And then I'm just going to make sure everything is Times New Roman 12 so that everything is pretty. And notice these kind of came out grayish. So I'm just going to make sure everything's black by selecting this bad boy right here. And I'm just going to select automatic. And now everything's pretty and matches. And I just need to fix the formatting because I say didn't stay italicized. So that is all pretty now and italicized. And then you just get to number 3, write a paragraph, about 100 words, telling me why you want to research this specific solution to this specific topic. For example, if you are researching gender dysphoria, why you want to research that topic. For example, I thought it was really interesting to research because my friend's daughter was going through it. And I just wanted to make sure what the processes were, that it was safe, if there was long-lasting effects. Maybe, hormones for gender dysphoria might be better with people over the age of 18, not just immediately giving it to 8, 9, 10-year-olds. Are there lasting effects? Does it seem to get rid of the other problems associated with gender dysphoria, such as depression? No, like maybe counseling first, that kind of stuff. So I just thought that was an interesting subject. Go to submit your research proposal. You'll see it's an assignment by the little square icon. And you'll click submit assignments. And you'll go down here. You can either copy and paste it as a text entry. The problem with that is I have trouble putting comments on the specific areas to give you feedback. So what most of my students do is a file upload. Geez, I can't see them both at the same time. They choose their file. Sample. They select the file, they click choose, and then submit assignment. Now, as always, you want to make sure you sit and watch it. It takes forever till you see the confetti, and that's how you know it's submitted.